Welcome to DairyCraftPro calculation. We're going to show you how to do a calculation, view results, and save the calculation to manage it as a production. Here you can choose between metric or imperial, add a batch number, and name your production. As you can see, we added the batch number and named our production cheddar cheese. Then we move to choose the production date, add the amount of milk that is going to be processed, and if necessary, add the amount of milk powder that is going to be used. You can choose the option for the density calculator to calculate the density of the milk based on the temperature of the milk. This is a great tool for milk processors as they will not have to manually do this calculation. Here we choose the temperature unit and then move on to input the temperature of the milk. As you can see, we choose Celsius and the milk temperature is 33 degrees. As we continue, you can choose between the product type we are going to produce, cheese or yogurt. Then a drop-down will appear where you can choose the ingredients that are going to be used during the production. Later you'll see how we can use this to add the ingredient name, amounts added of each ingredient, and any other necessary information to be saved during our production. Our next important data input will be in this section where you can add the fat percent, protein percent, lactose content percent, solid non-fat percent, amount of moisture percent, loss factor percent, and if there was any added water to the milk. This section is important as it will determine the cheese yield production estimate calculation that will be shown in the results. For our use case, we will input that there was 9 liters of water in the milk vat. Then we will move on to the pasteurization efficiency. The pasteurization efficiency module is a great tool for you to save the pasteurization temperature and the amount of holding seconds of the raw milk during pasteurization. Then we move on to the cooling rates. This is a good module so you can input the start temperature, the cooling and temperature, and the amount of minutes you achieved or wanted to achieve the cooling rate of the milk. In the results section, we will be able to view the cooling temperature per minute. Then the final step is to add the pH levels or titratable acidity of the milk. Here you do not have to fill all the data at the same time. I suggest just add 0 to the pH levels you're going to input later during production, and then come back and fill in the data. This is a great tool to keep track of pH or titratable acidity during production. Finally, we click on the Calculate button to see the results. Once you click on the Calculate button, we will be able to see the different information we inputted and the various calculation DairyCraftPro does for us. Some of the calculations are adjusted milk density based on the milk's temperature and the fat to protein ratio result. This is just the start of the results page. Let's keep going. Here we see the pasteurization temperature and pasteurization time that we inputted. Then we move on to the cooling rates result. Here we can view the cooling start temperature, the cooling end temperature, the cooling time, and finally the cooling rate per minutes. Then we move on to the milk weight conversion where we can view the milk weight in kilograms and then in pounds. This is our pH levels or titratable acidity section where we can view the different pH levels or titratable acidity of our cheese or yogurt production. Like I mentioned, this section and all section can be edited to fit your production needs. Our milk components section will show you all the information related to the milk components. Then we move on to the cheese production section. This section will show the ingredients that we choose in our production. Here you can see you choose the preservative ingredients, calcium chloride ingredient, cultures ingredient, annatto color ingredient, rennet ingredient, and salts ingredient. Under each ingredient, you'll find a note box where you'll be able to add different notes for each ingredient. The note box is a great tool for the producer to add different information regarding each ingredient. Some suggestion of information you can add are ingredient name, dosage amount of each ingredient, any other extra amount you had to add of the ingredient, and any other relevant information need for the production process. Once you have filled out all our information about the ingredients used, you can move on and view the estimated cheese yield calculation of your production. This is excellent information for producers as you can have an idea on the cheese yield you are supposed to have. Finally, you have the general note section box. This general note is a great way for you to add any other extra or relevant information you may want to add during your cheese or yogurt production. As producing any product, there are some extra information, mishaps, or just any extra data you will like to add relevant to your batch produced. In our example, we added the next information. had 16.54 kilograms in the production and had to add 3 milliliter more of rennet 3M3.
Great.
You have made it this far in our calculation video, and there is not any other more information we have to add. Therefore, we click the Save button. Here we are taken to the results page. Here we can view all of our past and current calculation used save in our account. We can filter all of our calculation based on the start date and date, filter by batch number, filter by production name, filter by product type, filter by status, and sort by the different calculations. In our example, we are going to filter by date, and then we are going to click Apply Filter button, so it can show the results of the filter we want to apply. Once we have our results, then we can view the different calculations. If we move the results to the right, we can see the different option we have for our calculation. Besides the unit system, we see status. In status, we have the option to classify our calculation based on in which part of the production process it is located: open, in production, brine, fermentation/ripening, packaging, and cleared for sales. Then we have an Open button, which allows us to open the calculation and make any changes to our information. As you can see, the status we have chosen, it has been applied to the calculation. Then, if we need any of the changes to be saved, we click Calculate, and then we click the Save button at the bottom. Thanks for taking your time in viewing this video. Thank you for joining us on this walkthrough of DairyCraftPro's powerful calculation feature. We hope this video has helped you understand how to optimize your dairy operations with ease. We're excited to share that we're actively working on adding new features to DairyCraftPro, so stay tuned for more updates. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more insights and tips. Don't forget to visit our blog for the latest information about DairyCraftPro and the dairy industry in general. Feel free to leave any questions or comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.